Speaking of social lives, Aaron Rodgers got married. I saw he had a wedding ring on, and I was talking about this on FS1 today. In the last year, I've had a couple of buddies who are GMs in the league, and one of the lines um, I've used in my business for a long time is weird doesn't work. You can have an ego, you can even be a little temperamental. Um, you can make mistakes, but if you're weird, eventually companies will move on from you. And I had a general manager tell me, I was out with him about 6 months ago, and he said, Aaron just got weird. And he said, and there's a story that McVay passed on him, Kevin O'Connell passed on him. He was the Steelers' third choice. And I was writing down a list today of the quarterbacks I would take over Aaron in the league, and there were 16 of them, including like Bo Nix. I'm not paying Bo Nix anything. He's more coachable. He's more athletic. He throws a fine ball. I think Aaron's just gotten to a point where I think Pittsburgh's about the only offer he had. And reportedly, according to Schefter, he was their third choice. Sorry to interrupt this great video, but please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you. Now back to the video.
Yeah, I mean, I do think it's pretty bizarre that he signs this contract and he's sporting a wedding ring. I mean, this is these quarterbacks, you know, who they're married to is, I mean, they're pretty big stars, right? They're like
Right.
actors, NBA stars. Josh Allen gets married. We all know it. Not all these guys even marry famous people like Josh Allen or Tom Brady. They're married to other famous people. Patrick Mahomes married to his high school sweetheart. Peyton Manning's married to a girl I think he dated in college. Who cares? This whole thing of like, I got things going on in my personal life, which I assumed it was negative stuff. Turns out maybe he was just getting married and wanted to push this off. It's just kind of the I've always been pro Aaron Rodgers as a player because I thought he was incredible. You know, I thought in the peak of his powers, he's one of the best athletes in terms of their sport I've ever seen in my entire life, which is weird because when you look at the totality of his career, it almost feels underwhelming for how good he
Yeah.
was. You know, I
Yeah.
think he let down in the playoffs. I mean, they lost a couple years ago to at home to Jimmy Garoppolo and the
Yes.
49ers offense. I think they scored 13 points. That can't happen. But I think this whole, because we knew he was going to go to Pittsburgh. It was just when he was going to sign. But that picture of him with the wedding ring is just a little bizarre. I mean, there's really no way around it, right? And
Yeah.
you've been on this forever. Listen, as someone I got married for the first time at 40 years old. Now, and a lot of my friends and my brother got married in their late 20s, early 30s. Your life is dramatically different. You know, I mean,
Right.
obviously, then you have kids. It is a completely different lifestyle. And he's just kind of been in this weird spot. Obviously, also as a player, he's no longer the same. His mobility's
Well,
gone.
think
He's
about
just not a
this.
dominant player anymore.
You can argue Tom Brady had a 20-year prime, a 20-year prime. Now, even though he was really good past 40, I don't really consider it maybe 41 and then the prime ended. But he was still threw a great ball
I'd
at
give him
40.
that first year and a half in Tampa. I think he was pretty
Yeah,
damn good still.
20-year prime. People forget this. Aaron's last year in Green Bay, they played an they played an average Lions team at home and lost. And it was Aaron, I think it was Aaron's last, was it his last game as a Packer?
And he got outplayed by Goff in that game, thoroughly outplayed.
Okay, so Aaron, so that year, if you go back statistically, Aaron was a B plus quarterback. He didn't play his first 3 years in the league, right? He sat in the bench. His
Yeah.
fourth year he started, he went 6-10. I can argue Aaron had less than a 10-year prime. I mean, because he hasn't done anything in 4 years. He didn't do anything the first 4 years. So, I mean, Aaron's prime was about half of
I'd give him
Brady's.
2009 to about 21, 20. I mean, he won the MVP in 21, 20 and 21. Yeah, about 10, 11 years max.
Think about that. Brady's at 20. So if you really look at Peyton Manning's probably at about 14.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah, I mean, Mahomes maybe one of those 17 to 18 years. Aaron just and I think a lot of it was just Aaron. I don't think he was as committed in the offseason. I think he wasn't, I thought he was really good the year he went 6-10, but I didn't think he was, I just thought he was talented. He wasn't a winning quarterback. But I think a lot of that is just I've always been one of these people. I'm not impressed by people that get jobs. I'm impressed by people that keep them. Like I think there is a real skill to being LeBron James or Tom Brady or Derek Jeter, and it's a commitment on nutrition, what you eat, sleep, and I think that's a skill. I think discipline's a skill. Maybe people don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe mental health professionals would argue that discipline is, it's not a
Anyone who
skill.
says that not is a moron, from the Navy SEALs to our athletes to our CEOs. What are they? 100% it's a skill.
And I just look at Aaron's prime, it's half of Brady. And you can say what you want, but that last year in Green Bay, he was a B quarterback and he's gone downhill since. I mean, he's just a pocket guy now, and he's not even like an elite pocket guy. He's just a pocket guy.
Well, I think when you look at his contemporaries, or definitely his peers over his career, because he came in a lot later than Peyton, and definitely Peyton and Tom. He was way more physically gifted than those guys. Those guys couldn't run. Tom and Peyton couldn't run at all.
Yeah.
I would say Drew Brees definitely wasn't a mobile quarterback, and he just had more skills. I mean, I would say Peyton and Drew Brees are known at best average arms, right? They hung their hat on accuracy. Tom had the best
Yeah.
arm of that trio, but those guys worked like they could get cut next year. I mean, everyone you ever talked to that was around those guys,
Yeah.
they were discussed like they were Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant or Tiger Woods, their addiction to their craft and how much it meant to them. I do think Aaron really benefited a lot. I mean, Tom Brady goes to the Patriots, who sucked, right? Him and Bill turned that thing around. Peyton went to the Colts, who had the number one overall pick, and Drew Brees and Sean Payton showed up to the Saints, that were known as the Aints. This guy went to the Green Bay Packers, who were a model franchise for 15 plus years before he got there.
Yes.
And I always think that, listen, him and Devontae, sometimes, you kind of make up your own problems in your head when life's going a little too good. And it felt like
Yeah.
those two guys, I mean, they have to look back after the couple bumpy years of going, we actually had it pretty good. It can be a little boring in this town, but we had a lot of success here for a reason.
I'm looking up Drew Brees' career from the first 5 years with the Chargers, and then, that 15-year run or whatever it was with the Saints. If I go back to Drew Brees, a smaller athlete, you can say his first great year was 2004 with the Chargers. So let me count these years: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I would say Brees had either 16 or 17 elite years. I mean, and I think Brady's 20 plus. So, and again, this isn't bash Aaron. It's just when you go, and I said this before to you. If Stafford won another Super Bowl, Stafford was better in college. He was better early. He was much better later. If Stafford plays 3 more years, and under McVay, they would be good. They have, I mean, they've got their
Yeah.
shit rolling. If he gets one more Super Bowl, you're going to look at Matt Stafford and you're going to look at Aaron Rodgers, and you're going to have a real hard conversation, because that means Stafford's playoff record is going to be significantly better than Aaron Rodgers, which is basically 500. People think I'm crazy when I say this. Stafford has more to gain legacy than any player in the league over the next 3 years.
I will say this about Rodgers when it came to Stafford. He was one of his biggest proponents over the years. When he was middling away in Detroit, he's like, you guys don't realize. And obviously the football people held him in high regard. Kind of got screwed that he got drafted to this franchise that, I mean, there are going to be kids right now in Detroit that have no clue how big of a joke that franchise used to be. I will say, I think Rodgers kind of morphed a little more into like an NBA player, right? Or like receivers often act than these quarterbacks. I mean, even Tom for a long period of time just kind of shut his mouth, kept his head down, dealing with Bill. I mean, Peyton, would he have ever gone to Denver if they hadn't cut him in Indy and he hadn't had the neck injury? He just would have played it out forever in Indianapolis. So, yeah, I just think Aaron, and part of it might be the nature of that franchise. You've talked about this. A lot of people have over the years. There's no owner to really get involved and kind of calm everyone down. Even just the
Yes.
basic of like, hey, you want to take my jet with your new wife or your buddies to wherever you want. Just the Eddie DeBartolo, Jerry Jones, the Robert Kraft, like kind of taking care of you. That guy doesn't really exist. So I honestly think that those guys, and if I was a Packer fan, we'll see how the Jordan Love stuff plays out. But it's like, God, why did these guys make such a big stink? We could have kept it rolling for a couple years. We have a really good coach. It's like, remember when he was having at odds with Gudikins? It's like, what are you actually mad about with him? Like, what did he do? What are we talking about? And let's face it, his ego was really, really hurt with the Jordan Love draft pick. Well, looking back, and there have been a lot of articles, so was Tom. And what did Tom do? Went out and said, I'm going to dominate and win Super Bowls, and you're going to have to get rid of that guy, not me. Aaron kind of took the different tactic, like, screw you guys, get rid of me. And obviously, age, let's face it, in the history of sports, isn't Aaron's career parallel the most guys we've ever watched? Once you get to your late 30s, you get an injury, popped Achilles, and you're just never quite the same. And then usually you go to these weird franchises, or in his, this scenario, kind of a desperate one. I think they have a lot of guys from Cam Hayward to TJ to Minka that are like serious cats. This has got to be like, wait, we had to wait for you. It's not like you're the greatest thing since sliced bread here, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not this. I think this year he'll win 8 or 9 games. He'll have 23 touchdowns, 10 picks. He'll be fine. He'll miss a game or two. But it is interesting when you look back. I think Aaron views himself as picked on or marginalized by the media. And when you just start looking at Peyton's career and Ben's career and Breeze's career and Brady's career and Elway and Marino, you just start looking at some of these careers. Aaron's prime was just not as long. And some of that's he sat behind Favre, but I thought he aged really quickly. And you can speculate why he did, but he did.